Welcome to my house.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the House of BTS, the house that goes beyond the supernatural. Enter freely and of your own will. I am your host, Stephen Dawes. For those of you that don't read the weekly Palladium Books newsletter, Kevin and company have said that the open house in April is a go this year. And that means it is time for me to answer a question that I keep getting. Am I going to the open house this year? And if so, will I be running adventures? The answer is yes, and yes. I am coming, so get excited and tell all your friends that the host of the House of BTS is coming and he will be wearing his GM hat. Now, that said, there is a caveat and a change in plans to my running adventures this year. While I usually run adventures with 6 players and sometimes more to give more people a chance to play in my games at the open house events, I unfortunately will have to be reducing the numbers of players in my games to a maximum of 4, at least initially. The reason is something I've not really talked about yet, but it is time to let everyone know that I was diagnosed a month or so back as being hearing impaired. In the last couple of years, it's getting, I'm getting hard of hearing, and it's getting harder for me to hear everything in my daily life, no less trying to run an adventure with big groups, especially when more than one player is talking. My loss of hearing has gotten to the point that I need to wear hearing aids. Now, for those of you who have not been to the open house before, it is held in the Palladium warehouse, which is a really cool place, to run your Palladium games. There's nothing quite like it. And the catch to that, though, is that it gets incredibly loud inside that warehouse, especially when everyone's running games at the same time. It's echoey, and honestly, sometimes you're competing with, GMs at the next table and whatnot for folks to try to hear you. It's a great time, but again, it's just loud. And for me to be able to do this, I'm going to need to have smaller groups that can huddle closer to me so we can all hear each other as we talk. I have never run an adventure at the open house where I've not had a full table, and I usually have an extra player or two on reserve in case somebody else doesn't show up. So I really want to give as many people as I can a chance to play, and so to compensate for having less players in my games, my plan is to run, the same adventure multiple times throughout the weekend. And however, on that note, I also try to host at least a few talk panels while I'm there. I try to spend time at the writer's table to talk with people. And I hold out hope that one day I will be able to play in a game at the open house rather than running them all the time. So who knows? Maybe this is the year I'll actually sit in on a game, and we'll just kind of see how time and such pans out. Also, depending on how things go with my hearing aids, I might increase the number of players in games later on during the open house. I've had some positive experiences and responses with my hearing aids, and frankly, I probably should have gotten them sooner. I was dragging my feet on it. But at this point, they're still new to me, and they're pretty untested in such a loud setting as the open house. If it turns out that the hearing aids are doing their job well enough, I may increase my numbers from 4 to 6 accordingly. So I hope that you'll all be patient with me as I navigate the unfamiliar waters of hearing loss. Or if you absolutely need to complain about it, I would suggest you whisper so I can't hear you. And as far as what I'll be running, I think they will all be beyond the supernatural related. And all of my pre-generated player characters that I have available in the house, they will all be there and available to play. I'm certain that I will run the classic Amber Alert adventure at least once, since it's still one of the best introductory BTS adventures I've ever written. And frankly, it's also kind of become a tradition, as Amber Alert was written for the 2006 open house, and I have since run it at least once at every open house event since, so this year I don't expect that to be any different. I'm also already writing new adventures that will appear for the first time at the open house. And who knows? If I get inspired enough between now and April, I might even run an adventure for one of the other games that I enjoy running, such as Dead Rain or Nightbane, Heroes Unlimited, or Rifts. Who knows? I may offer updates on my open house games as between now and April. So if you'd like to hear more about them and kind of keep tabs on what's happening, feel free to subscribe to my channel as well as liking the Facebook page and getting on the Discord page for the house. You can find links for them on the website at houseofbts.net. And with that, I thank you for stopping by the House of BTS, and now go safely and leave something of the happiness you bring.